Alrighty, hearing that Zoom voice one last time, and today, welcome everybody back to the final week of our Tech Bytes summer technology programs and our time here at the Schaumburg Library teaching computer science courses. Today is the 8th week, and today is also the final day of our Tech Bytes programs, where we will be wrapping up today with web project development. We have come a very far way from where we have started. And today we are wrapping up not only our summer programs, this past Monday and Tuesday, we wrapped up Web Development Bell Day and MIT App Inventor off with a bang. And today, wrapping up our web product development and hopefully Tech Bytes off on a good note with all of you guys as well. We have a bunch of people here today, but for those who have been here from the start, some of those who have not come in, cough chase, we hope that you guys are doing well as well and are watching this video as we are concluding Tech Bytes together. So without any further ado, one last time, let's go over who we are. And if you guys do not know who we are by now, we are doing our jobs incorrectly. My name is Rayaan Labdhi, guys. One final time, in just about a week and a half, I will be starting and going off to college at the University of Illinois at Chicago, majoring in computer science. Looking forward to that, but also going to be missing the very long journey I've had here at the Schaumburg Library and the countless memories which we, all of us together, have made here.
And my name is Labdhi. Again, just like Rayaan said, I started Tech Bytes about November last year. 9 months of teaching you guys computer science, but what I realized was I learned a lot from you guys, not just about computer science, but about a lot of things. And I'd like to thank you guys for that. I'll be going off to college next week, actually. I'm moving next week, so it's going to be a huge change for me, but I will cherish all the memories that we have made together. As a goodbye before our session, I have made something for you guys. If you guys can go to this link that I did put.
She's laughing. It means it's a Rickroll. Rickroll.
Oh, you guys can just click it.
Oh wow, Labdhi, this is pretty cool. It's like, yeah, check that out. It's like all of our memories over the past 9 months.
Yeah.
One last time, how to do it to him.
Do you guys click it? Yes. Amnish, unmute yourself.
You knew it. Labdhi, you gave it away so easily by laughing.
When did I laugh?
Yes, you were just smiling, and it was so obvious that it was a Rickroll.
But I mean, I think I did catch both of you guys. So I think I've done my job well. I got back to you guys for rickrolling me. That not only that one day, but for a bunch of sessions.
Exactly, and Ayush got me last week.
Did you talk with Rayaan before the session?
Actually, no.
No, I don't even know.
No, because he was all in on it, that's why.
I opened it up and immediately I was like, okay, I know where she's going with this. So what matters is that we got you guys. So the score our level now. Alrighty. Well, gonna miss those Rickrolls, and we also got to go over Joe, if you want to get the results for the meme war, if you got those pulled up on your end, at the end we can discuss that as well. But let's get to what we're going to be doing today, guys. Starting off with a quick this or that, finishing up the project we started in the early weeks of June, and then talking about the end of our time here with Tech Bytes.
All right. So for our this or that, this one is pretty symbolic because we have written code in both of these languages by now. JavaScript, what we've been working on for the last 8 weeks in Web Project Development Day and Bell Day. That was JavaScript. Python we did do with some of you guys in the spring. Now, we need an answer from you guys, JavaScript or Python. And always you gotta explain why. All right, I prefer Python from Avanish. Gotta explain.
It's more better. Love it, Amish.
I'd go with JavaScript because I don't really know Python, but I have heard that it's pretty. Is it really that easy to learn or simple? I guess maybe.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple language. Like, compared to, like, if you just compare the syntax, there's way less syntax than in JavaScript. Just like take braces, for example, when we do like make functions or yeah, functions, or I think conditionals too. Remember when we do the open braces, close braces? In Python, all you need is a colon. You enter, tab, and that's it. That's just one way, one reason.
By now, you guys have had a good taste of both, probably a bit more with Python because we spent a couple more months with it as compared to JavaScript, but you guys have seen the multiple programming languages which are available to us, Python, how easy it was to learn the syntax, those are fundamentals, and then this summer, learn how to make some websites and web development. So you guys have kind of tasted both worlds, and looks like Avanish went with Python. Paritosh, you went with Python as well?
I think British said JavaScript.
Okay, so 1-1, and then anyone else want to share?
I changed my mind. I'm going with Python.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, anyone else? Any strong opinions? If not, I would just like to say, even though Python is the better language out of JavaScript and Python, I would say Java is the best language of all.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the language which I have the most fun with, it's probably Swift when making like iOS apps. I don't know why. Swift, but in terms of like everyday use, probably JavaScript I go with, I think.
Hmm.
Avanish in the comments asking any advice on starting junior high, starting next week? Yes, junior high. So Avanish, you're going to meet? Where are you going?
Frost.
Frost, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure, so my sister's also going, she's going to 8th grade, but they're not doing lockers this year. So you won't have that taste of like having your own locker. So you guys are taking your backpacks, right, from class to class, which is something they didn't allow. But yeah, so it's going to be a new experience for sure because you're not going to have the same teacher. So that connection might be a bit off and like, oh, look who joined, who's coming on in. So stay tuned for that. But overall, you're probably going to have a fun time because you're going to learn many more things by teachers who are specializing in that one thing instead of just one teacher. So you're going to have more friends, more people in different classes, and it's going to get you ready for high school as well. So a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would just like to add in one more thing, Avanish. I'd say just enjoy middle school because you think that high school is like way more fun but you have way more responsibilities in high school. Your grades definitely matter for going to college. In junior high, they really don't. Even if you do think they do, just like placements in high school. But yeah, just enjoy, like do whatever you want in coding, try out new languages, try out new things, make friends, and yeah.
Exactly. And middle school is a great time to see what you want to get involved in high school as well. Like if you're doing the track and field team, or I know I'm assuming there's new clubs at throughout 54 schools now.
Yeah.
So check that out, so you have an idea of what you want to do in high school. But like Labdhi said, like the grades, it's all fine at the end of the day because middle school grades really do not matter. If anybody even tells you that, high school is where it comes about. But yeah, middle school, it's like proportionally related. Responsibilities and the amount of fun you can have. So
Yeah.
we'll just right before the responsibilities start going higher along with the school as well. All right, Chase coming on. Chase saying Python is his favorite. Chase had a fun time with Python. Okay. Chase, you want to tell why?
Yeah, because Python seems to be easier, and I already knew a good amount of it. And I mean, it's named after a snake. I mean, how many more jokes can you get out of that?
That is true, Mr. Comedian. We did make quite a few jokes. Chase dropping one last quote as well. A good deed shines in a weary world. Willy Wonka. Eloquently put, Chase. Alrighty. Well, let's get on to today what we're going to be doing so we can wrap up today on time as well.
All right. So just to recap, of what we have been doing for the past 8 weeks. We have been working on the adventure game in JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Again, JavaScript, we added the buttons, paragraphs. That is about it. CSS, we did the styling, and update on the styling. The styling is updated to what we did, the black background, the cool buttons, and the fonts that we did about like 3 to 4 weeks ago. And then JavaScript is actually handling the logic, so what to do when the user clicks one button or the other. And the cool part of this adventure game is that it would have it has multiple endings to the adventure. I think that's really cool. It makes the game way more fun than just having a basic storyline that just has different variables and ends at the same spot every time.
Exactly. So last week, guys, we finished up the storyline and added player health option where you could check and keep track of what the player's health is when certain events happen, and also kept the door open for you guys to add your own events. We talked about, we'll go recap that today as well. But for today, it's pretty simple. We're just going to add the final part of the game, the end game for our Avengers fans out there. Just make sure that we all have the CSS updated as well, and seeing how we want to finish off our game here as well. So without any further ado, let's hop on to our coding website. One final time. The link, as always, guys, will be in the chat below. If you guys do want to join, I'll be dropping the collaborate link. The collaborate link so that you guys can also see when I'm dropping the large chunks of CSS. There's a lot of code, so if you guys do not want to type it all out, that is totally fine.
But do we be aware, maybe the link that he drops is a rickroll. Maybe. No, it's not.
I'll let you all be the ones that test out that for me.
Chase, I actually successfully rickrolled out niche today.
Okay, so give everybody a minute to hop on in. All right, it looks like we got people coming on in. All right. So a quick recap of what we've accomplished over the past couple of weeks. We have gotten all of our HTML set up along with a good portion of our JavaScript as well, handling all of the displaying of the scenarios and then presenting what options the user has when they're presented with a certain scenario. So if I run his start game, we have the option of first scenario is going to a different planet. Which planet do we choose? We can go to a different planet. And it looks like our health was impacted because of the option we selected. And we also got a chance to play around with that last week when we were dealing with math.random and generating a random amount of health points, which will be deducted whenever we make a certain choice. We're going to our location, certain thing happens, we can fix our ship. Looks like we were able to gain health points when we fixed our ship. On our way to a location, we spot different signs of life, like aliens. Do we keep going or interact? We can interact. And then all in all, you can see that there's many different paths which we can choose. Sort of like a prime factorization tree. For some reason, I don't know why I thought of that. You have different paths, different trees, different places we can go. So that is the main idea with this adventure game. But although this game has a good portion of the logic already built in, one thing which it is missing is looking good. This white background with these white plain buttons doesn't really make our game a good way to conclude. So what we're going to do right now is make sure that we have all the CSS updated with what you guys originally had and make sure that it fits the theme of this space themed adventure game. So what I'm going to do right now is copy and paste a bunch of code related firstly to the HTML, and then we'll explain what that does. So if you guys want to do the same on your project, if you guys have been following along. If not, just go ahead and watch. That is totally fine as well. So I just pasted code. Firstly, we added this link at the top of our page. Now this link allows us, it's like a CSS link, which allows us to change the font in our HTML. So instead of having this standard font, I'm not sure what it's called, we're now able to import a font through an API, which we've discussed what that is before. Remember, an API is something which makes a programmer's life easier by giving us access to functions, functionality, which we don't have to code ourselves. So instead of us having to go to the CSS and then somehow create our own font by changing the radius of the corners, making our own font, instead we can just import a font and then use that on our game. We'll take a look at how that looks in a bit. Also, we started to add some tags to our paragraph tags. We added a class tag and an ID so that whenever we change our CSS to look nice, it will impact this paragraph tag and it will look a bit different as well. Give a class to our health so that we can access the health paragraph tag and then change the CSS and make that look nice as well. We'll take a look at that in a bit too. And then we added some class tags to our buttons. The reason we did this is that so our buttons will look much more interactive and much cooler and nicer in just a bit. But as you guys can see, the only thing we did was add this class tag. And the reason why we added this tag, it's like an ID tag. Instead of being a singular HTML element which we can access, with a class tag, we can change multiple things at once. And here, what we're able to do now is make our button look much cooler. And we will add the CSS, which corresponds to this in just a bit. And that is pretty much it for the HTML. Now what I'm going to do is drop a bunch of CSS code. And the cool thing and the best thing about working with websites and CSS especially is that CSS, you don't really have to know what it does as long as it makes your game or your website look nice. It's the one piece of code which is all right to copy and paste, because JavaScript is super important when you're handling the logic. You can't just copy and paste code. HTML, to a certain degree, if you got multiple elements which are the same, like buttons, paragraph tags, you can just copy and paste. But CSS is something which you can literally just copy and paste and make it fit to your program in whatever stage you are at. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And there we go, just added a bunch of CSS right here. We can just go over a few what they do. This is the body tag, making the background look nice. This glow on hover, this is what's going to make our buttons look much cooler. We'll take a look at how that looks. This before is signifying that the style of our button will change before we're hovering over it, and then after we are hovering over it. More about our button and how it's going to look like after we hover over it. We're changing the color of the type of text. So instead of it just being black colored text, our health will now be in yellow. The scenarios will be presented in white. And then much more CSS handling the other two buttons as well. So now if we hit run, we'll do a quick before and after. Look at this, it's completely white, plain. Compare that to this. Look at how big of a change that is. We just went from all this to all of this. Now look at that. So if I hover over this, we can see that the CSS, which handles hovering over the button, is being activated, where if I hover over, we see that we're having a multicolored sort of array going around, some color shifting around. And if I hit start game, we can see our scenario. Use the option to visit another planet. Which planet do we choose?
For the buttons, in order to make them visible, I think there's like 2 lines of code you have to add in JavaScript.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Just like make them too visible. Yeah.
Okay, we'll start. So this is going to go back to us using that idea of the DOM, where we're going to manipulate our HTML using our JavaScript. So in order to do that, remember guys, we're always going to utilize that long line of code. So the document dot get capital E element, capital E by, capital ID, add the opening close parentheses. And then remember, inside of these parentheses, we always got to designate which HTML element are we going to be changing or manipulating the property of. So in this case, we're going to manipulate the property of, I believe, button 1 is called the button 1. So we're going to say button 1 and then dot. So since we're going to change a CSS style property, we're going to have to access the style property, and then under that property, the visibility property. So dot style, dot visibility. And now that is going to be equal to visible. This will make sure that our button, instead of it being hidden, it's actually visible to the user. And then we're going to do the same exact thing for our second button as well. So you can copy and paste that line. Instead of accessing the properties of button 1, this time we're going to access the properties of button 2. Give everybody a minute to catch up. Alrighty, so now if we could go ahead and hit run, hit start game, there we go. We can see our 2 buttons, which present the 2 different options, but also look at how cool they are. Instead of it just being like a plain button, before I'm hovering over it, they look like just simple plain buttons. But once we hover over them, there we go. We can now see that there's sort of an X being formed, and the state of our buttons changes after we hover on over them. Alrighty. Now I also see that we had, so that's going to take care of the CSS part, which you guys worked on, making it look nice. It looks much, much better, right, compared to what we originally had. And this lends itself to a good idea that if I were to tell you guys, hey, play this game or play this version of our game, which one would you choose?
Option 2.
Exactly. And Praitosh, what's the obvious reason why?
It appeals to your eyes better, so you want it makes you like want to play it more.
Exactly. And that's one of the coolest things about computer science, and when making games especially, you don't want to present a game which is super simple, and although the game's logic might be simple, you want the game to look nice, because that's how you get more people to play the game. And like you guys said, everybody was 100% acceptance that they wanted to play the second version of our game, and so would me and Labdhi probably, because it looks much cooler and much more attractive. So that's the main idea, which you want to keep in mind when making any type of project. We're developers, we think in a different way. You want to think as if you're the person using the game or service. That's when you're able to make something really good. Also in the chat, Joe's dropping a link to our surveys about Tech Bytes, guys. Please be sure to fill those out. We've also posted them on the Google Classroom. If you've not already, just a couple of questions, getting your guys' input about our time here at Tech Bytes. And thank you guys for attending our programs throughout the year as well.
Also, if you just like think about like any old games, like on how you said, like if you make like if people just make them better, like have better graphics, even if it's a bad game, it just makes like you want to play it, even though it might have had a bad review before.
Definitely, yep. You want to make sure that you keep the reviews out. You want to make the game look nice as well. Alrighty, so hopefully everybody is caught up by now, and now we can go ahead and play through our game, have different options presented, interacting with aliens, whatever we'd like, have some lunch, we can make a run for it, meteor shower, a bunch of different scenarios which we have added over the weeks. And throughout this project, we've utilized many different concepts, whether it be arrays, functions, variables. We've changed our HTML using the document object model with the document.getElementById. We've used loops, if-else, conditionals, and a whole bunch of great things as well. Bringing this project to an end, it is 1:35. So do you want to get to some other things as well for today? So this is going to bring this project to an end. The only one thing which we were not able to add was a end screen, but that is something which we can quickly do if you guys want to add. So say when what we could do is create a function. It's just like as an extension idea, which checks the user's health constantly. And then if the health of the user is below 50 or something, or 70, whatever you would like, you could black out the screen or just make everything invisible or have a piece of text which says, oh, the user has not made it past through the stage. Anish, got a question? Yep. So the last question in the chat is meme wars. So you guys got to choose me, Labdhi, or there is another option for some people here who might have different opinions. Alrighty, so as always, guys, this link will be in the Google Classroom as well if you guys want to check it out. Play with yourself, but that brings us to the end of this JavaScript adventure game, a large project which we've been working on over the past couple of weeks, or this whole summer actually, involving some great concept. Oh, also including an API. We were able to get that in as well. So pretty cool.
All right, so as Rayaan was saying, today is a wrap not only for web development, web project development day, but for Tech Bytes for the summer, and with Rayaan and I. It's been 2 years of teaching for Rayaan. Wow, that's a lot. It's been 9 months for me at Tech Bytes, and we have together learned so much from Python, starting in January, ending in May, to JavaScript, and what is computer science, and a lot of coding techniques using in our algorithmic programming sessions. And not to forget the MIT App Inventor platform where we can develop Android apps and test them out on our phones. So that was game development, and we had, of course, a lot of fun memories through the riddle of the day, through quote and meme wars, through a lot of rickrolling, and a lot of conversations that we had.
For sure. It's crazy how fast our time here, guys, has passed by. Seems like yesterday we're talking about the new programs we were unveiling for the January, starting off with algorithmic programming, the new ideas we had. You guys saw Labdhi, she came on the team. Me and Labdhi were going at it. I don't know if anybody remembers, but before Labdhi was here, there was a guy named Andrew. Me and him were going at it, doing it together, making some programs here. If you guys go back on the playlist of our videos, we have over like 115 videos posted there, which is like 115 hours worth of content, which is crazy to think about how much content we've made related to coding available to all you guys to check out as well. And yeah, like Labdhi was saying, we've come a long way for sure, learned so much. It's crazy how much we've learned, whether it be in Python, JavaScript, just simple ideas, and making ourselves better developers and sort of opening our eyes to a different perspective of things which we can do. And personally, a thank you to all you guys for being here, coming through. We saw, you know, the transition to going online. Before we were doing this virtually, it was all in person, and we were going in person, but then going online really helped us out. We were able to get so many of you guys, meet all you guys, although not in person, virtually still seems like we've known each other for such a long period of time. And like we made a bunch of great memories and have had a bunch of fun time. And hopefully you guys are able to say the same as well.
Yeah.
Joe, any words?
No, that was pretty great, Rayaan. Thank you guys all for coming out, and look for further iterations of Tech Bytes or whatever we've got coming out. We're going to be bringing on new mentors, and I'm not sure how old everybody is, but if anybody's like 16, we're going to be posting that job sometime this week. So go ahead and check that out on the library's website. If you guys are like a junior or senior, join us.
For sure, exciting.
Take over the mantle from Rayaan and Labdhi.
For sure. And we'll keep you guys updated through the Google Classroom as well as to what's been going on with Tech Bytes and how the new format will be. You know, the times are changing, whether it's going to be going back to in person, whether it will be online. We're not sure ourselves, so we can't really convey that information, but hopefully we will have some clarity in the coming weeks and months as well. Yes, Avanish, the goal is to continue the Tech Bytes legacy. And before we do send you guys off for the day today, we got to do one quick thing, one question. That question is going to be on a website we're all going to head on to. If you guys want to go to this link, poll.ev. Let me drop in the chat one second. Can you guys copy that link?
No.
1 second. Let me see if there's a way I can get a. Okay, here you go. This link should work. So click that link. And then it's a one simple question which we're asking you guys today. It'll populate on the screen. What was your favorite part about this whole Tech Bytes journey? Just a quick little response. Okay, we got some responses coming on in. Staying engaged, learn. Yeah, learn is a big thing. Learn languages, Python, highlight, social. We had quite the talks, whether it be talking about the favorite ice cream flavor, which is still undisputedly mint chocolate chip, but always going to be
No.
conflicting opinions. Chase, you were a big part. Thank you, Chase, for coming on and bringing a positive attitude and always being sure to put a smile on our faces. Computers, coding, things, excellent, great. Thank you. Saying a thanks to us and a thank you to you guys as well for staying on, coming through each and every week over these past 8 months. And to all those who were not able to come today as well, we missed you guys, some of our OGs, and hopefully you guys are ready to go as the next couple of weeks come about. Best of luck, guys, in your future journeys as school starts. Chase will always be here for the languages. Chase, so will we. And guys, good luck in school as you guys are starting up new journeys. I know we're going to new schools, middle schools, high schools, a lot of new things to come about. A new year of school starting, going back to in person, be quite different. From Rayaan Labdhi as well. And from all of us here, thank you so much. We've had a great time. Oh, and before we go, wait.
Oh my God, can you believe that?
Oh, so we've had a 14.3. Oh, who got 28.6%?
Rayaan, you did.
Oh, okay, wow. Out of 7 responses. Well,
Oh, right.
That last one, it was a 6-way tie between 3 sock
I went-
puppet accounts and 3 real ones, but
I
that
went.
last one came in and tipped it for Rayaan. I don't know.
Ooh.
I think it all seems kind of sus. I think Rayaan may have gone in and voted for himself.
well,
I don't know.
no, I like to share the stage with Labdhi because although we were going at it with each other, it was a lot of fun. So we'll equally
Appreciate that.
Look how many chases there are. If you combine them all, I win.
Ooh.
quite the many. All right, guys. Well,
You're one of the rare exceptions where a combination of the 3 would be lesser than the total.
already well. Pritosh, Chase, Avanish, Tejas, Dhruv, and to all those watching our video today as well. It's been a great 9 months here and a great 2 years from me here as well. And hopefully you guys have a great time in your lives up ahead. Keep us updated, stay in touch. You guys, we will drop our emails if you guys want to reach out anytime as well in the Google Classroom. Other than that, you guys are free to go and enjoy the rest of your lives, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, bye. See you.
Enjoy the rest of
Bye.
your lives.